This winter, you'd better hide under your blankie for the scariest movie of 2021. Adrian Brody is just a man who really likes having sex with fish and wants to find a podcast to listen to that satisfies his need. So what does he do? He takes to Twitter and asks 3 magic, horrifying words.
Okay, so need podcast recommendations. Send.
He didn't realize the terror that he had just summoned into his account.
Okay, awesome. That's a decent amount of podcasts to listen to and a lot more notifications than I usually get. I guess I'll start listening to this Dax Shepard one.
But it only got worse.
Okay, it's been 3 days and 500 people have commented on my tweet promoting their own podcast. I'm guessing they found my tweet by typing podcast recommendations into the search tab. There's no going back now. They'll probably tire themselves out, right?
He was wrong.
Okay, now I have thousands of notifications and they're all people promoting their own fucking true crime podcast. I don't even like true crime. I just want a fish show. Maybe if I delete the tweet, they'll stop. Yes, that's what I'll do. I'll just fucking delete it and I'm saved. Okay, delete. Oh no. They found me. I already know about those. They made a whole popular Netflix show about it.
This episode is brought to you by Blue Chew.
No. I don't want your chewy boner pills. There's no escape. The podcasters. There's too many of them. See, that's
What is up, you guys?
No, I won't give you any reviews until I've listened to at least 5 episodes. Get back, you vultures. Get back.
Podcast recommendations coming to a Twitter account near you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the short news with your host, Alex Mador.
Has got a powerful price.
Hello, and welcome to this short news podcast. Thank you so much. Real audience, I appreciate it. Thank you. That's cool. That's really cool.
Give me that pussy!
I haven't been using the soundboard a lot lately, and I apologize for that, sincerely. We'll try to figure that out in the future. So welcome to the Short News Podcast. My name is Alex Mador, and this is a show where a dude with no journalistic credentials talks about current events, and for some reason you're listening. Which I have to say thank you, because that's pretty awesome that you're here. And so a round of applause for you.
Smoke weed every day.
Nothing is impossible.
We're getting towards the end of the week here, and I'm looking forward to the weekend, getting to relax a little bit, maybe get some sunlight or something. I don't know. Right now, I've been doing a lot of school stuff. Classes have been going pretty well overall, but pretty dramatic in some cases, which I'll talk about for a sec. Let me just make sure my audio is good. Audio. Okay, so we were discussing feminism in my political sociology course, and the issue of women being paid less than men came up. And of course, everyone in the class is saying that women and men should be paid the same amount, except for this one dude. I won't say his name, but I'll do my best impersonation of him. So he raises his hand, or however you get the attention on Zoom, and he's like, um, I don't think women should be paid the same amount as men because there are some jobs that women can't do. And the whole class, which is majority women, was like, "What job, dude? Tell me one job that's like that." And he goes, "Um, I can't think of one right now." So, okay, dude, you're fucking wrong. And just want to find any reason to be sexist. This is probably the only Trump supporter in the whole college. He gets torn up every class, but he doesn't seem to care very much about that. If anything, he gets pleasure out of saying shockingly unethical things and making a bunch of young women angry. He's really good at it. I love impersonating this dude. I feel bad. But if you're defending Trump and saying women shouldn't be paid the same as men, then you kind of deserve to get roasted a little bit. Um, Wait, let me see if I can get this right. I don't think that there should be any equality because you know um some people are just superior than others. He's gonna say some shit like that, and yeah. So someone literally said in the chat on Zoom, "I hate you," and that was the funniest thing that's happened during school in this whole pandemic. How do you think that it's an okay thing to say in front of a bunch of women who are working towards getting good careers and hopefully being paid fairly for it? Seriously, how do you say that? You have to be like on the spectrum to think it's okay to say that kind of shit in front of a bunch of women. I'm not making a joke out of that either. That's some serious issues with not having a filter and not being like socially aware of your audience and the feelings and experiences of said audience. So we were talking about women being paid the same as men, and somehow in his argument, this guy mentions something about how there are cases of sexual misconduct where the woman makes up allegations about the man, and somehow the fact that sometimes people make false report essay means that women shouldn't be paid a fair wage. I don't get it. That's a completely different argument, and it's false, and it's also blaming the victim. I don't understand the people that when somebody speaks out as a victim, like these people are like immediately like, "Oh, but she could be lying." Like, let's find that out down the road. We got to figure out what's going on here. Don't just completely dismiss the case. But that, yeah, like I wasn't even sure what I was supposed to be learning by the end of that class. Um, Other than that, one of the students in my class believes in some pretty messed up shit. But listen, it's a good class to take. It's relevant to everything going on in our society, and it helps me come up with cool things to talk about on the podcast sometimes. Um, Remember last week when I said I had accidentally started a feud with a professor from a different class? Okay, well, that escalated pretty quickly, but then normalized just as fast. I got the dean involved because that was a shit ton of aggression to receive just from asking for help. And I went to meet with the professor during her office hours after that, and it was pretty fine. She didn't tear me apart, and I didn't have a mental breakdown, so that's a good thing. Hopefully, from now on, I'll be on the email list like the rest of the class. I think she looked back into her emails because she really wanted to dunk on me that she was right when we were exchanging, arguments. And I trying to say that I just missed the email out of carelessness, but then I guess she found out that she actually didn't send it to me and now has to deal with being wrong. I don't know, but it was much less scary than I thought it would be. We'll see how the rest of the semester goes. Maybe she read her Rate My Professor reviews and was like, "Oh shit, need to start doing something different. But I'm glad it worked out for the most part. Maybe I won't have to drop this class. Start off with some NFT news here. I have officially debuted a series of NFTs that I am calling Crypto Cavies. One word. They're on OpenSea. They are pixel arts of unique designed guinea pigs. They're one of one. You can get them on OpenSea today. They're gonna get they're gonna get better. They're gonna improve as time goes on. I'm not super experienced with art, so this is a work in progress. And hopefully someone enjoys them. I made about 5 or 6 of them so far. It's really therapeutic to make these little guys. It's like the same part of my brain that's doing Minecraft. I come up with like a story and a personality for each one. And the pixel art is super in style these days in the NFT world. I'm not really good at the whole NFT thing, but it's just for fun. I'm not expecting anything crazy to happen from this. I have heard, though, that these NFTs use up a lot of electricity. So hopefully we find a more energy efficient way to do blockchain related things. Because all those mining rigs are using so much energy. There's no chance of that being sustainable in current form. Okay, so I guess we should go into some current events. Otherwise, this show isn't about the news anymore. So let's do it. Okay, so there was another shooting a couple of days ago, mass shooting in a grocery store in Colorado. It's not really race related this time, like the Asian massage parlor, but it definitely gives us a lot to think about regarding gun control laws. It's way too easy to buy a gun in America. The gun companies and the NRA have a ton of power and are usually able to get what they want because they have endless amounts of money. 10 innocent people are dead because the dude had access to an AR when stricter gun control laws would have prevented that. I grew up with this kid whose family was super into guns, and he was obsessed to a point where people were concerned, and he wasn't trustworthy or responsible at all. But he had multiple handguns and went to the range every week and would shoot squirrels in his backyard, which is actually, I'm pretty sure, a crime in Connecticut. But that's the least of his worries. He ended up robbing a Rite Aid pharmacy like a year or two ago under the threat of having a gun because he needed some Adderall. Is that someone who should be allowed to buy and own multiple guns? This fucking dude broke into Maurice Sendek's house. You know where the wild things are? After the dude died and got arrested for that shit. Like, this was like right after we graduated from high schools too, so he went straight into crimes. But he still had guns, and probably still does. The gun laws are way too loose, and that should be fucking obvious enough after the hundreds of shootings that happen in this country every year. The United States is one of the worst offenders when it comes to gun violence. Shouldn't we be doing something differently to change that? And I'm not saying get rid of all guns. That's unrealistic and would piss too many people off. What I'm saying is what I'm saying we need to do is make it harder for people who want to rob pharmacies or shoot up grocery stores to ever be able to purchase a weapon in the first place so we don't have these problems. And I can't act like I have all the answers. I'm not an expert, but I think we can all agree that guns aren't for everyone and shouldn't be for everyone. For example, I have a medical marijuana card, which puts me on a list of people who can legally never own a gun. I can't own or operate a gun. That makes sense. The government doesn't want some stoner to have access to a firearm. That would be careless. Am I mad about that? No, not really. Guns scare me. I've shot guns before. I'm actually really good at shooting them. The accuracy runs in my family, but like there are people in my family who are responsible responsible adults about their guns and use them for hunting, lock them up in a safe, that's fine. That's completely fine. And they aren't using AR 15s. That's unnecessary. Like, I don't feel restricted because I'm not allowed to own or operate a firearm. I can't say that word. Ugh, my tongue is like fucked up. Firearm. It's something that doesn't really interest me. The only guns I play around with as a hobby are airsoft guns because you can shoot people in the nuts and they'll be fine. I've never done that, but once during paintball, my friend shot me in the dick and I literally thought it was going to fall off because of the severity of the pain. And dude, everyone saw this happen. We were in the mess hall or the cafeteria, the paintball place, whatever you call it, and we're getting lunch and buying more ammo, and I accidentally bump into my friend, and the barrel of his gun like digs into my penis. And his safety was off for some reason, and his finger was on the trigger, and he fired. And dude, that was fucking horrible. So embarrassing. The whole paintball place watched it happen and laughed as I doubled over on the ground and screamed out in pain. But I'm getting off topic here. We're talking about gun control. Real guns. That shouldn't be that controversial of an issue. Why would anyone want dangerous people to have access to firearms? Wouldn't you want to prevent those shootings from happening? I'm not even saying get rid of all guns. AR-15s and whatever this guy used that was similar to the AR-15, the competitor to it, are way too convenient and way too easy to kill people with. Have we not learned from all the other mass shootings involving AR-15s? Are we just acting like none of that shit ever happened? Why do so many people love sucking off their AR-15s? It's a killing machine, and it's completely unnecessary. There are other guns and weapons that you can use on an intruder. You don't even have to kill people when they intrude. You can just, incapacitate them. But a lot of Americans have a fetish for killing. They want any reason to kill. You don't need a gun, bro. You need a fucking therapist. We need to have some sort of restrictions on this. And Ted Cruz probably has a lot to say about this. I mean, he is the guy who famously cooked bacon off of his assault rifle just because he's a fucking psycho. I don't think we need to dwell on me talking in circles about why there should be gun control, but we should be listening to the opposition and how they're trying to make this about something other than guns, even though it was a gun that killed 10 people at a fucking grocery store. Like, dude, people can't even buy apples and cereal without getting fucking popped outside of the Stop and Shop. How can we just do nothing about that? So let's see what our boy Ted has to say about the shooting. See if he used it to get some time and some clout, some spotlight on Fox News or something. We got some Hannity here. Gotta love Sean Hannity. I don't. I'm joking. I really don't love Sean Hannity. Don't worry.
Earlier today, during a Senate hearing on gun control, Senator Ted Cruz summed it up like this. Take a look.
Every time there's a shooting, we play this ridiculous theater.
We keep doing another run of Seussical, and I am sick of doing Seussical. I want to do a better play, like A Christmas Story, or
What's that one that the one from the fucking oh god, what is that play?
I wanted to do Roger and Hammerstein's South Pacific. Why can't we do that? Why do we have to do this theater? We did Spider-Man on Broadway. That cost us so much American taxpayer money. It was ridiculous. And so many people got injured. Anyways, like, why did we do that? Why did we do that theater? At least do something that I like the Radio City Christmas show. I don't know.
This committee gets together and proposes a bunch of laws that would do nothing to stop these murders.
You mean by restricting who can and can't get weapons? Yeah, that would prevent these murders from happening. These moitas from happening. That's a guarantee. What do you mean taking guns out of the equation doesn't solve the gun problem?
Mass shooting is Democrats propose taking away guns from law-abiding citizens because that's their political objective. But what they propose, not only does it not reduce crime, it makes it worse. I agree it's a time for actions. And by the way, I don't apologize for thoughts or prayers. I will lift up in prayer people who are hurting, and I believe in the power of prayer. And the contempt of Democrats for prayers is an...
I pray every day. I pray every day that I might one day see my testicles again. But I have not. I still have faith. I still have faith in my Lord. That is something that I will hold on to for the rest of time.
I'm losing my Ted Cruz.
An odd sociological
I have no testicles.
thing. But I also agree thoughts and prayers alone are not enough. We need action.
Joining us now with more is the Texas Senator himself, Ted Cruz. I love that line. I'm not going to apologize for thoughts or prayers, nor will you apologize for the right of the people to keep and bear arms and protect themselves and their families, Senator. Thank you for standing up for our Constitution and the Second Amendment, because apparently many are not tonight, and Joe Biden's threatening executive action.
Yeah, here, Ted. Here's your round of applause, you dweeb. This is the only time. The only time you're gonna get it. No, he gets applause when he goes to, like, those conventions.
Well, Sean, that's exactly right. And the modern...
Well, Sean, it appears as though we're going another day without testicles. It's a sad day. I could not stand up to my Republican friends about potentially making changes to the way that we just distribute guns like they're tampons to women. But we give those guns all over. We need to weaponize our whole country, Sean. That's what we have to do. We have to give the guns to our dogs and cats. We have to weaponize our dogs and cats. You know the thunder shirt? You put it on the dog and it makes them calm down. Well, we have the plunder shirt. It allows your dog to be part of the militia by attaching a semi-automatic rifle to their back using this plunder shirt that I patented myself.
Modern day left is more and more extreme. They have this bizarre antipathy to God and to prayer. So anytime, look, all of us have had people who've lost loved ones, and then the first thing you do when someone has lost a loved one is you reach out and say, hey, I'm lifting you up in prayer. I'm praying for you, your family. I know you're hurting, and may God's peace be with you. And the left treats that like, how dare you believe there's an omnipotent God who could actually love you and care for you. But more broad.
But no, I don't think that's what they're saying. I think they're saying that's not enough. You can think and pray all you want, but what are you doing within policy to solve the issue? Thoughts and prayers are great. Like, I'm sure they really appreciate that, some of them. But that's not doing anything.
Broadly than that, we see this cynical pattern whenever there is a mass murder. And I got to say, we have had way too many of these mass murders.
Yes.
Look, I've represented Texas in the Senate for 9 years now. I have been Santa Fe High School. Santa Fe is less than an hour away from my home. I was down in Santa Fe High School within an hour of that shooting. It was horrific. The crazed madman who murdered those kids. El Paso, the crazed racist bigot who murdered the people at that Walmart. I was there for that. Dallas, when 5 police officers were murdered by a radical leftist. I was there for that. And I got to tell you, Sutherland Springs, the worst church shooting in U.S. history, small town outside of San Antonio. I was there the day after the shooting in that sanctuary. I saw with my own eyes the blood and shattered glass and the agony and the incredible love of that community. There have been too damn many of these, and we need to stop them. But the Democrats...
But, here's the but. He said all that about,
Oh, it was horrible. It was horrible. There was blood all over the place. I could not believe it. But I like guns. I like them too much. I can cook my bacon on one. That is my preferred way of making breakfast. And I will continue to support cooking breakfast on your assault rifle.
Democrats' proposal every time is always the same, which is take away guns from law-abiding citizens. That is their political agenda every single day.
Why does he always exaggerate these things? It's not take away guns from law-abiding citizens. It's make sure the right people have the right guns. It's make sure that, like, weapons that can kill 10 people in a grocery store don't get in the hands of someone who wants to do something like that. It's not that hard to understand why something needs to change. I really don't get it.
Doesn't work. It doesn't reduce crime. And in fact, it makes it worse because it disarms the potential victims and makes them vulnerable to criminals. If you want to stop them, the way to do it, what works is you target the bad guys. You go after violent criminals. You go after felons. You go after fugitives. You go after those with serious mental illness. You stop them from getting guns. And when they try to illegally buy a firearm, you lock them up and put them in jail. And back in 2013, I introduced legislation called the Grassley-Cruz legislation. It targeted the bad guys. It directed the Department of Justice to prosecute felons and fugitives who try to illegally buy guns. The Democrats in 2013...
Yeah, but that's just felons and fugitives, and that probably most likely was set up to target minorities. You're not going after the right people. The majority of these shootings have been done by white males, straight white males. So you're profiling the wrong people. And they have no previous criminal records a lot of the times. So yeah, you're profiling the wrong people. There should be a psychological test that you have to take in order to be able to purchase a weapon that can kill somebody. I don't think that's so ridiculous and radical. Other countries, you can't even get guns. You shouldn't you shouldn't have one in other countries. And they don't have as many shootings as us. We have countless. Every day it happens.
Filibustered Grassley-Cruz. We got 52 votes on the floor of the Senate, a Democratic Senate. 9 Democrats voted for it. So it was the most bipartisan support of any of the comprehensive legislation. And yet Harry Reid and the Democrats, Chuck Schumer and the rest of the liberals filibustered it, demanded 60 votes. It didn't pass. I'll tell you, Sean, if Grassley-Cruz had passed, there's a very good chance Sutherland Springs...
Grassley-Cruz didn't pass because Democrats knew that it was just targeting and profiling people of color who were put into jail, for felonies wrongfully for fucking shitty charges like a gram of weed. That's targeting the wrong people.
Things never would have happened because the criminal who had committed a felony was ineligible to buy guns. The Obama Air Force never reported his conviction to the background database. And when he tried to illegally buy the gun, his conviction wasn't there. He was allowed to buy the gun, and he murdered those people. If Grassley-Cruz had passed, they would have prosecuted him. They would have put him in jail, and he would have been in a jail cell instead of in that beautiful sanctuary.
Aren't these the same Democrats all summer long when we were watching bricks and rocks and bottles and frozen water bottles and Molotov cocktails and nearly 3,000?
None of those things are guns. Have you noticed? None of those things involve guns. Guns are literally designed to kill people. All of those other things have other purposes. They were used as blunt objects. Okay, in the Molotov cocktail, that's too much. I understand that is too much. But, you cannot compare throwing bricks to shooting a gun off in a supermarket, killing 10 people instantly. How? You can't. You cannot compare those two things.
Cops injured, 30 people killed. Let's see, arson, looting, the taking over of police precincts.
You sound like
burning.
my dad all the time. Just arson and looting. I guarantee you he watches nothing but Sean Hannity. This is ridiculous. I feel like I'm having an argument with my dad over the phone about, whoa, what about the left with their arsoning and looting? Listen, the left was fighting for things that were actually injustices that were being done to people in this country, that have been getting done to people in this country repeatedly. They have a legitimate cause to be angry about. Do I support looting? No. Was that happening as much as Sean Hannity makes it out to be? No. Yes, people get mad on both sides. The left didn't storm the Capitol.
Them to the ground, allowing city blocks to be taken over, autonomous zones, Chaz, Chop, Summer of Love, spaghetti potluck dinner zones.
Yep.
Aren't they the same ones that were telling us every day that these are not riots, these are peaceful protests? That's what I remember from last summer.
No, I think that's exactly right. And these are rich liberals who have their own security details, who say that you shouldn't be able to protect your own family. You know, we had a hearing in the Senate Judiciary Committee where we heard testimony that in 2020, the rate of gun buying went up dramatically. And it went up in particular among minority communities, among African Americans, among Hispanics, among Asian Americans. And one of the questions...
Damn, Asians are getting strapped? That's scary. That's not good. I'm worried about my Asians out there. Should I be doing that? I said I can't. I don't have a choice, but should I be doing that? Is it that bad out there? No, he's just saying that. He's just saying that, right? He's trying to sell people on the buy a gun today. Buy a gun today. Make me money because the NRA is right in my butthole.
Questions I asked at the hearing. I said, look, how much did the riots of 2020, the Antifa, the Black Lives Matter riots that were burning our cities, that were looting stores, that were murdering police officers, how much did that contribute? And I'll tell you, the witness testimony was quite a bit. I can tell you in Houston, I remember when these riots were happening, there were stories about how violent mobs were to come into the suburbs and raid people's homes. And I got to tell you, in Houston, that would not work out well, because in Texas, a whole lot of the homes, people believe in the right to keep and bear arms. And if you come after their families, you're going to meet the business end of a firearm. And that is a fundamental right protected.
And then that person will be brought onto the Joe Rogan podcast and asked if they do DMT. When is Ted Cruz going on the Joe Rogan podcast? That's bound to happen soon. Now that Joe's in Texas, and he has all these right-winged people on his show all the time now. Like, he went from having, like, Bernie Sanders on to now, like, Gavin McInnes of the Proud Boys are calling him fun. He's a lot of fun. Like, what? Dude, he's a white supremacist. What do you mean he's a lot of fun?
The Bill of Rights. You know, every year, Sean, firearms are used in a defensive situation to stop a criminal about 1 million times a year. And the Democrats, they want to take that away, which endangers you and your family, and they oppose targeting the...
I don't think they're not going to take that away. Like, America is always going to have
bad guys and the
guns.
criminals. You want to stop this gun violence? Go after the bad guys. That's what works, and protect the Second Amendment.
Go after the bad guys.
It's amazing how Joe Biden...
That's why when shit goes down in Texas, Ted Cruz, hide in my basement and cry.
Biden thinks he can bypass Congress again. We'll be following that. Constitutionally, he doesn't have the authority. Senator, great job today. Thank you.
Sean Hannity, you look like the bad guy in...
This Thanksgiving, a new film from the coked-out mind of Stephen King. In a neighborhood hiding something sinister, Adam Schiff is one man who just wants a clean house and will have a big, smelly problem.
Who shit on my floor? Seriously, I just got this cleaned. Who's there?
Potential Supreme Court nominee and all-around creep Ted Cruz stars in this horrifying film that will make you lose your shit.
Oh my god. Whoever he is, he just shat all over my floor and wiped his ass with that copy of the Constitution over there. And look over there. He lost his balls. They're over there in the trash. Oh no, I hear him. Here he comes.
Exactly the opposite of what they're saying now. Everyone has switched positions, and so the whole promo you're pushing about hypocrisy, if you want to say it, you could
The Poopy Man, coming to a theater near you.
say everybody involved in this is a hypocrite. Now,
Hey, what's up? It's Alex. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you, so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything that you need to make a podcast all in one place. So download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Minecraft. I know there's not one, but like look at his square ass head. You can't see this, but he just looks like I don't know, man. That's just, how is that real? Such a square face. Just a square shaped head. That's so funny. That's so Republican too. He just got this like, oh my god, he just looks like such an asshole. I hate going to my dad's house, and that's like all that. I don't hate going to my dad's house. I hate when I go to my dad's house and all that's on the TV just all day is Sean Hannity, and I'm like, seriously? Like, it's entertaining, but it's really frustrating because the majority of what he's saying is false. And we do have to make a change to our gun laws. And the solution definitely is not going to be get rid of all guns. That's unrealistic because of the country that we live in. So many people have misinterpreted the Second Amendment to mean I can have assault rifles or AR Armalite rifles. And personally, I think that interpretation is wrong. They were talking about muskets if you need to uprise against a corrupt government. Form a militia. Now it's gotten completely out of hand, and we need some sorts of restrictions on who can get access to those things. It's not that difficult to figure that out without profiling people based on their race, based on how the system has processed them for some stupid charge like a gram of weed or something. Again, I'm not an expert. I don't pretend to be. And the podcast even says, like in the description, that I'm not an expert. I have no journalistic credentials at all whatsoever, other than I took a journalism course at summer camp.
That's where it all began.
No, that's not. I hated it. It was so boring. The rest of the camp was fun, but dude, like, we don't need everybody to have access to a gun this easily. I have a friend who he went to a certain state. He went to school in a certain state, and he wanted to see how easy it was to buy a gun there. He had just turned 18. I think I've told this story on the podcast before. He literally walked in, said, "Can I buy that gun?" And they were like, "Yeah, sure. Can I see your ID? You 18? Yeah. "Oh, okay, here you go. That'll be $400, please." And that was it. He walked out with a gun, and that's that. Why is it that easy? It should not be that easy. That's dangerous, dude. Nobody's saying we're gonna take all your guns away. Saying, okay, we need to make sure that the wrong people don't have these things. We're not talking about law-abiding citizens. We're talking about people that plot mass shootings. I don't know, man. I could talk about that for a while, but it's not entertaining. It's just frustrating. But dude, the couple upstairs has been fighting nonstop since 3 p.m. yesterday. It's like 11 a.m. on Thursday now. Now I went out to the hallway like 3 p.m. yesterday, pick up a food delivery. You could hear them out in the hallway, even though they live upstairs and were in their apartment. They were echoing all the way down to me. And like, how are you this loud all the time and not thinking about the other people that live in this building? You think nobody notices? Because we all do. I'm sitting here talking about you guys on a podcast that goes out to the world. People in Ghana, listen to this. They're going to hear about you guys all the way over there. That's how loud and annoying you are. Woke me up at 3 a.m. today. They were banging shit, throwing it around. I was thinking, damn, bro, there's no way this is over something like a video game. That's usually what it is for me when I get that angry. And then I heard a dude, one of our neighbors, yell up to them, "Shut up!" early this morning out his window trying to get them to stop. And I wish that worked. When they first moved in a few weeks ago, I was more understanding. But now I'm sick of it. It's getting too much. It's getting to a point where, like, I don't know, someone's gonna have to call the cops because it sounds like it's getting violent. And I hope that it doesn't show up in the audio recording. I will try my best to keep that out of there in post. Here's some relationship advice for you, since we do that a lot on this show, and now you've involved me in your problem by screaming all day and night. Break up. Seriously. By the small chance that you ever hear this, break the fuck up, because not only is this unhealthy for you guys to be doing all the time, but you're fucking getting in the way of all of our lives here in this building. We all have to be inside, you motherfuckers. We don't have a choice but to deal with your shit. One of these days, possibly today, someone is going to call the cops because this has gotten to an unmanageable level. There are professors that live in this building who have to instruct their college students. But the students probably hear this shit in the background, and it's disturbing. But what else is going on in the world? We have Karen news. I guess we're keeping up with the Karens earlier than usual because this was in the news recently. They're calling her Bagel Karen. And from what I'm getting from this, the white lady's got her kids with her in a bagel shop here in New York City. She called the cashier the N-word because I assume she was told by him to put on a mask. And here she is denying to the New York Post that she said it, but then they show it right after.
The gentleman, why you called the gentleman the N-word?
I didn't call him the N-word.
What did you say?
I called him a term to describe his behavior.
Which was what? What did you call him?
To describe his behavior.
Which was what?
You have it on the video.
Yeah, we do. It's the N-word.
Why? Because he's a bitch ass.
Excuse me.
Oh, that's what he is.
Hello. Now you need to go.
That's what he is.
Excuse me,
bitch
ma'am.
Ass,
Hello,
N-word.
ma'am. You
I
need
just
to
said
go.
it. You heard it.
Let me call.
Yeah, she literally said, she said the word, and then after she has the balls to confirm, yes, I said the N-word. And then goes, that's what you are. Ridiculous. So I did some digging and checked out her Instagram, which is now full of comments telling her to die. And she posts all this shit saying that the virus is fake, and her posts keep getting blocked by Instagram or hidden because they contain false information. It's sad how mentally disturbed these people have become. I wouldn't be surprised if it turns out she was at the Capitol storming. I wouldn't be surprised if she invented the storming of the Capitol with that attitude. So we looked at that, we saw that, but like, imagine being that ignorant that you call a black person that word in public, or How about just the balls on this lady to say that in general? She could show Ted Cruz a thing or two about at least having some balls about being a racist. She just straight up said it. That's crazy. Fuck this lady. She deserves to be hated on for this shit. Ostrich-looking ass. What bagel shop is this? I want to give them business. Davidovich Bakery. Go to Davidovich Bakery. Give this guy a big tip if you see him working. Cause that's not cool. That's not cool. You can't do that. But there are other Karens, of course. That's just the main one that's been in the headlines this week, but don't worry. There's more. There's always more Karens. So let's take a look at the latest public freakouts caught on camera. Oh, also, here's something cool. Before we go into that, there's some news about this elderly homeless man has become the first person to live in a 3D printed house, which is really cool. Like, they're providing housing for elderly people who are chronically homeless, and they're doing this in Austin, Texas. It's like a new project, and I think it's really cool. I think they should do this everywhere. We have a huge homeless problem in our country, and I think not enough people are doing anything about it. And if these giant 3D printers make it easier to build houses and make it more affordable to build houses, and we can just print them out, literally print houses, then why not just give them out to people who don't have homes? It makes sense. But yeah, Karens probably disagree with this. We should take a look at what they're doing, keeping up with the Karens. So let me do my little typerino here. Go to today or this week. Let's see what's this week. 10 hours ago. Let me see. 3 days ago. Okay, I found one. So this first one looks like it is in like a CVS or something, or Rite Aid, something like that.
I have nothing to do with that. I gave you my card and my ID, and that's all you needed to know. My credit card and my ID. Don't touch my. I gave him my credit card and my ID. Everything matches and everything is the same. And my taxes is on there. I don't have nothing to do with that. I need to know what happened. Right. I don't know what happened. I don't have nothing to do with Green Dot. That's my tax money.
Okay.
Yes. I don't know what he's talking about. I purchased that. I bought it.
Okay, you need to calm down because you're getting loud for no reason. For absolutely no reason.
Okay, well, my money can't. Okay. I don't give a.
Ma'am, I need you to calm down.
I don't care who you call. I don't care what happened. I will leave this motherfucker stuff because he just took my motherfucking money. I don't give a who y'all calling this. You can call the police.
Just told you. You think that I'm striking? You're going to go down to the police and say she beat me about the face because she pointed at me.
Oh my god! What the hell? This one is interesting. Let's see.
Do you take meds?
Does she take meds?
She's fine. She's staying calm. You're yelling. You're parked in the middle of the road.
Because she won't let
She is listening.
Speak. My husband is home being very sick, and I needed to make an errand, and I needed to make it quickly.
Then you were going.
If you're from Pomfret, you won't listen to me, I'm sure.
I'm from Barnard.
If you're from Pomfret, you know damned well.
My family is from Pomfret.
I don't give a shit if your great-grandfather was Ethan Allen. Would you listen?
No, my aunt's uncle was Ethan Allen. Great uncle.
Really was.
She must really be a good friend because she's heard everything you said.
No, she really is.
Did she ever shut up?
You're the only one talking.
No, she won't let me talk.
This lady's crazy. Oh my god. This looks like Connecticut or like North Salem area of New York. I feel like I've been on this road. And they said Ethan Allen. That's like very my area that I grew up. This looks like that area. So damn, watch out for this lady if you're in North Salem, New York area.
I'm trying to tell you about my husband and why I was doing what I was doing. Number one, that is my normal speed.
That's no reason to run over somebody. Your normal speed is way too fast.
Yeah, 50
I think we should go to the hospital.
Why?
Because I ran over her.
You didn't
I
run
do,
over
I think.
her. You were driving
Don't you
way
think?
too
Honey, I'm
fast
all right.
on a
She
dirt
just said
road.
we ought to go.
We're all right. She just
I ran
said
you
slow
over.
down. You needed to slow down.
I
And you just
said
said
She
you
way
slowed
overdid
down.
all
Honey,
of this.
you said you were driving fast because your husband.
No,
and you're
I didn't say I
stressed
was
out.
driving fast.
You said I was driving fast. I was in a hurry.
I didn't say I was driving fast.
50's fast.
I was
Where? 50 is way
50's
too
fast.
I wasn't even. I was 29 miles an hour. I looked at my speedometer.
No, you weren't. You actually.
You are a liar, and I will find you.
I think
You are a liar.
You are a liar and I will find you. Well, now that's on camera, so congratulations. You've made it on the internet.
I was
think
going.
you sped up when you saw her.
How
because
does this only have 599 views? That's shitty.
You're sick of tourists.
I think that you're sick. I think you're sick. I was
Oh my
29
God.
miles an hour. For the person who's standing there, it feels like 60. It was not.
She wasn't standing there. She
But
was
it,
talking.
you know what?
She should
Either
use that with
way,
the
it
cops.
doesn't really matter.
It doesn't.
You guys all need to just relax. What does it really
You're
matter?
out of control.
We didn't.
Because I don't like being accused of something. First of all, she says I'm a liar for 29. I know what I was doing because
You
when she
scared-
got there,
it
I
scared-
looked
it
at
just
my.
scared her. It scared her.
It
Just
scared
it
me,
did.
and
It scared her. It was 29 miles an hour.
Right.
I haven't gone 50 miles an hour in 20 years
But it
because
was
I taught
only-
people who work for me and not going 50 miles an hour. I was going 29 miles an hour. She thought it was 60.
But it's
She
all
thought
right.
you
I'm
jumped-
all right. You're
She
all
thought
right.
that I hit your
Everybody's
knees
fine.
She
and
didn't
that you
say
need
that.
to go to the hospital.
She didn't say that.
She said you hit my
Crazy.
friend.
She
I
said
did
you
not.
almost. She didn't say you
I said
hit
you
me.
could have hit
And
my
how
friend.
close?
I don't know. My back was to you, and
And
I.
that's why I was going
And that you
slow
had to
down.
jump out of the way.
What is that outfit? Like, do you work at a zoo? It's like green on green. Like dark green on darker green. And that haircut, the classic Karen, looks like an English middle school teacher. A middle school English teacher. Sounds like a goose. Drives a Volvo. Classic. Vermont license plates. Classic. It's the nature Karen.
The wild nature Karen in her habitat.
Of the car.
She moved very quickly out of the way. Yes.
So, number one, my husband's ill. I needed to run an errand.
I
There
am
are
so
tourists in the
sorry.
middle. There's tourists
All over
always
the
in the
place.
middle of the
I
place.
know.
And everybody is
But I
stressed
don't
out by
feel
it.
that I have to go 10. I do not feel I have to go 10. I was 29.
If it's
But they're
safe
humans.
to go
No matter what the
faster,
law says you can
can't
drive,
replace
you know in the
somebody's
fall
body.
people are
If
going.
somebody goes
You
10
can
around
get
me,
there.
I think,
I know,
oh,
but
boy,
in,
they're
no,
trying
no,
to find
no.
out where I
Listen,
live.
listen.
They're being
In that area where you know
this area.
fall,
I
That's
use,
such an
I use
exaggeration.
Galaxy Hill every day of my
I
life.
know you
And
do,
my
and I live in
crew
New
is
England.
building
I
a
live in
house
New
on
Hampshire and
Galaxy
Maine,
Hill.
and I know what you're talking about. It drives me crazy too.
Uh-oh. Is this Walmart? This next one. Uh-oh. What's the deal here? Is he gonna do something racist? Oh. Oh, what? Jesus. It's a Kevin. It's a wild Kevin.
Excuse me, sir. Behind me.
Jesus. People are real angry during these times.
I have my mask on.
Yeah, it's not covering your nose. Did you not hear that? Oh, there you
You're
go.
obtrusive and rude and disrespectful.
Cool.
You need to back
What
up.
about this gentleman?
You need to back up, bro.
Oh, we've seen this one.
Touch yourself.
Go make yourself
You
famous.
need to get out of our space.
Dude, I've seen that one a couple times. She coughs in the dude's face. Dude, I would clock her. You don't get to do that. And be so, like, smug about it. Immediate concussion, hospital. I don't care if you're a girl. I'm sorry. But you coughed in my face during a pandemic. Consider yourself paralyzed. Like, that's it. That is it. That's the end of the video. That's the end of the video. So I guess we should go into a relationship advice to close it out. Let's see what we got on there. Oh shit, dude. I don't know if anyone's seen this, but the relationship advice community has been made private. In light of the update, we're keeping the subreddit private. Outstanding issues are: 1. Need a postmortem of what failed, plus summary of policy changes going. Wait, what is the what update? Let's go to that. An update on recent issues surrounding a Reddit employee. We'd like to give you all an update on the recent issues that have transpired concerning a specific Reddit employee, as well as provide you with context into actions that we took to prevent doxing and harassment. So as of today, the employee in question is no longer employed by Reddit. We built a relationship with her first as a mod, and then through her contractor. We did not adequately vet her background before formally hiring her. We put a significant effort into improving how we handled doxing and harassment, and this employee was the subject of both. In this case, we over-indexed on protection, which had serious consequences in terms of enforcement actions. So on March 9th, we added extra protections for this employee, including actioning content that mentioned the employee's name or shared personal information to third-party sites, which we reserve for serious cases of harassment and doxing. On March 22nd, a news article about this employee was posted by a mod of r/UK politics. The article was removed and the submitter banned by the aforementioned rules. When contacted by the moderators of r/UK politics, we reviewed the actions and reversed the ban on the moderator, and we informed the r/UK politics moderation team that we had restored the mod. We updated our rules to flag potential harassment for human review. Debate and criticism has always been and will be a central conversation on Reddit, including discussion about public figures and Reddit itself, as long as they are not used as vehicles for harassment. Mentioning a public figure's name should not get you banned. We care deeply for Reddit and appreciate that you do too. We understand that the anger and the confusion about these issues and their bigger implications. The employee is no longer with Reddit and will be evolving a number of relevant internal policies. We did not operate with our own standards here. We will do our best to do better for you. So what happened? Somebody was doxing people? And so the relationship advice sub is now shut down or privated? Do we still have just no MIL? I'm gonna be so sad if that's we do. So I guess we have to settle for where we started with the first ever episode of the Short News podcast with just no mother-in-law, because we still have that. Let's see if we can help somebody with their familial issues. All right. Here's one. Mother-in-law won't stop asking to come over, despite me just having surgery, only so she can see our dogs and her son. I'm 20 female, my boyfriend is 21 male. We have lived together for over a year and have been dating almost 3. I believe I may have made a post before on this sub, but I don't recall exactly. My future mother-in-law and I have a good relationship overall. We agree on most things and hardly ever disagree. She can be a bit pushy sometimes, but otherwise all right. For some reason, she feels the need to visit us every week, at least once. I don't know why she thinks her and future father-in-law are entitled to weekly visits to our house, but she gets super offended if we tell her no. Usually we don't mind, but sometimes the days she wants to come, she works different days during the week, falls on days where we are just busy. I had surgery less than a week ago. Future mother-in-law was working the weekend I had surgery on. It was a Friday. Come Monday, she wanted to come over for her weekly visit. My boyfriend said no, that I was resting. Tuesday, the same thing. She worked Wednesday and Thursday, but now she wants to come this weekend at some point. I won't lie. It's been a rough recovery, and after my first post-op appointment yesterday, I'm feeling awful. My boyfriend told her he would have to see how I'm feeling before he told her yes or no on this weekend, but to not get her hopes up. This has led to her messaging me literally every hour asking me how I am feeling. Before she maybe asked once a day, if that, but now I'm assuming she is asking because she wants to know whether she can come over or not. It's gotten annoying to this point that I have stopped answering, which is only making it worse. She wants to come up and see our dogs, our farm animals, and her son. I mean, she probably wants to check on me too, I guess, but she messages me every day telling me she misses our dogs and all that. How do I make her see that she does not need to come up here every week, and that she needs to stop messaging me without coming off as rude? I am so over her constant messages while I'm trying to recover, as I know she's only messaging me to see how I'm feeling so she can come over here. So, where is your boyfriend in this? Why is he not telling his mom? All he's saying is, I don't know, maybe, we'll see. Don't get your hopes up, though. That's getting her hopes up still. She still thinks there's a possibility that she's going to come over, and she's going to keep bothering you as long as he doesn't say to her, she's not feeling well. She just had, crazy surgery. She's in a lot of pain. Can we do a different weekend? She needs some time. And if she takes it personally, that's not his problem. That's her problem. That's her thing. That's what I have to say about that. And what do people have to say? Yeah, your boyfriend needs to do it. Needs to lay down the law. Or somebody says, tell her when she can visit. Sometime in the future. Give her a date where you will be feeling better, so she's just not doesn't know when it's going to be, so she has a day to look forward to when you're recovered, and she won't be as bitter about it because oh, I'll see them in a week or whenever it is. And she should be understanding of the fact that you just had surgery, and if not, then that's her fault. If she's going to be mad about that, then she's just a shitty person, and you don't need to deal with that right now. So that's what I have to say about that. And I think that's going to do it for this episode of the Short News Podcast. I'm going to go get some lunch, possibly some Colonel's fried chicken again. That good old gravy. Oh my God, it's so good. This is my new Taco Bell. I think they're owned by the same company, so that's scary. But if you want to keep up with me and my cat, you can follow me at Alex_Madore. It's pronounced Mador on Twitter. Or just one word, Alex Mador, on Instagram. I'm also on Clubhouse. I will be there tonight at 6 doing an OCD support group. If you want to get in on that, just reach out to me. And so I will see you guys in a couple of days. I love you very much. Thank you for listening. And peace.
It's really that time of year, and your team might finally do it. Or if you're a Rams fan, you might just want to book the trip now. This year, Super Bowl 56 is in Los Angeles at SoFi Stadium, February 13th. You can scour resellers to buy an overpriced ticket closer to the day, or you can lock in the Super Bowl experience of a lifetime now with our friends at On Location. True 50-yard line seats, only available with On Location. An invite to celebrate on the field with the champs. On Location. Yes, you want to craft a perfect confetti angel like I did? Go to the game with On Location. And it's not just about gameplay. From dinner with NFL legend Marcus Allen to pregame parties featuring acoustic sets for Wyclef, the official hospitality partner of the NFL is offering the most exclusive ticket packages available. Want to know how? Visit onlocationexp.com/SB56 or search Super Bowl On Location. That's right. Search Super Bowl On Location. Make the trip of a lifetime. It's your shot. Take it.